So we're going to do that blade part next. I'm going to go ahead, so it's 3, 4, 5. Do not touch the knob. We're going to do that after we do the blade. So I'm going to start at the 3 and slowly get darker as I go along the blade on the right, towards the right. So look how I'm holding the pencil for the number 3 value, so I don't apply too much pressure. Make sure you wipe off any eraser shavings you have so that it doesn't mess up your drawing. And I'm going to start light and then gradually make it darker. For the sake of my computer not crashing, after this blade and the knob, everyone's going to do the rest on their own in terms of the shading. Because it's pretty straightforward. You're just literally going to each number and applying the value on that for each number itself. Okay? And then remember, you guys are turning in these notes or this demo into Canvas by tomorrow. Okay? All right, so this is a 5. I'm starting to make it a little darker. Be mindful of the button here or the knob, whatever you want to call it. And then it goes to a 4 and then a 3. Okay, I'm going to take the stump now. Start over here where the 3 is at. Start blending that. And as I go to the right, I'm going to switch to the other side of my stump and start to make it darker. If you lose an edge, so right here, I messed up already on this edge of the blade. It's okay, that can be fixed. Just make sure you fix it later though. Sometimes when people start to shade, they forget about their edges and keep it a nice clean edge. So be mindful of that. Alright, I'm going to take the B pencil, just make it a little darker right around the left side of the button here and below it. Just so it's noticeably different than the rest of it, because this is supposed to be like a 5. Remember, metal is tough to shade or draw because of a shiny reflection that it has. Okay? Okay, now let's go ahead and do, people ready for the button or the knob? So there's a lot of little values in this one little area. This is our hot spot. This button is the brightest part of our pair of scissors. Okay? So it's 0 here, and then you have, what would you guys say, what did we say last class it goes to on the left? You guys remember? People online or people in front of me? What did you guys write down? I just erased it. 3 on the left here? It's a little darker. No, darker. So it's closer to like a 4 and a 5. So I'm going to go here just with my HB pencil. That a little darker, and as I go to the right, I'm really easing up on the pressure. So it's almost like we're drawing a ball, like we did when we did the shading the first time. There. That was it. And then I'm just going to take my pencil and create a little bit of a dark outline underneath it. Okay? Then you already see how that looks kind of like it's a bubble curving up, right? And now let me go ahead and fix this edge that I've messed up on right here. So I still want to keep a nice clean edge. Right? And then this last part of the blade right here where it's a little lighter. So this is like a number 1. Barely putting any pencil down and then taking my stump, or people at home, your Q-tip, and just dragging it along that edge. And then I'm going to clean the edge of the blade here, so it's nice and clean. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Notice how I'm doing this though at the end of my drawing, because if you do this throughout your whole drawing, while you're drawing it, I guarantee you're going to start, you're going to mess it up. So I always like to clean up my edges right? And then what I'm going to do is just go to the little details and see if I need to add any little values that I missed or make them more noticeable. And sometimes you will have to clean things up. So I'm just going to go to the thickness of the handle here and make it more prominent so it shows up. Right? And that will make it look cleaner. So this is what you're going to do for the other handle and the other blade. So the other blade, remember, we only saw this part of the blade. We didn't draw the other half, right? Just for the sake of time. And then this part here, where it's 2.5, is the shadow. Okay? All right, so what you guys are going to do now, people in front of me and people online, you're going to go ahead and shade this second handle on your own with the shadow, right? Here and here. Don't forget this part about the blade. And then you're going to start doing the inside. Be very careful with this section here. The section here has a lot of really close lines, so you need to be aware of that and be mindful of those edges, right? And keeping them nice and clean. At the end of this, it should look like this pair of scissors is sitting on your paper, right? A true test of shading, if it looks like that object is sitting on your paper, then that means you did a really good job of the shading of it, okay? And just to remind people,